What's up guys, Romsicle here, and this is the best wireless controller for $25, and it's the EasySMX ESM 9101 controller. Go to easysmx.com and use code Romsicle to get 15% off your purchase. And this is the box that it comes in. It's just a cardboard box fitted inside this clean box design, and inside the box we get the controller, the manual, a wireless receiver, and a 1-meter USB-C cable. And the cable is really basic, but it's USB-C, so it works with all your other cables, and if you're not using USB-C, you're really missing out. The wireless receiver is also very basic. It's just a standard USB with a cool gloss circle design on both sides, and it also has a red LED indicator on the top to show you when a controller is connected. And this is the controller itself, and your first thought is definitely gonna be, damn, that matte black design looks really awesome. And your second thought is probably thinking, wait, is this a knockoff Xbox controller? And yes, I agree, it highly resembles the Xbox One controller, but it's way cheaper. In hand, it's quite light, but it also feels sturdy at the same time. It's a little smaller than the Xbox One controller, but it still fits ergonomically well in my hands. Here's a little comparison between the controller versus the Xbox One controller. It's a little smaller, has fewer features, but it's 50% cheaper, so you can't really complain. And yes, the resemblance is definitely uncanny, but the Xbox One does have better thumb grips and a tactile D-pad, but both controllers still function exactly the same. Starting with the right side, we have some really nice matte black buttons in the same orientation as the Xbox. Moving over, we have the buttons for start, back, home, and turbo, which also has an LED indicator to show you when it's active. And then we have the two joysticks along with a pretty average D-pad. The joysticks are really smooth and the clicks are really tactile. The thumb grips are made of a matte plastic, which isn't the best for grip, but they make it up with these ridges on 4 sides. But your fingers will definitely slide just a little bit just due to the materials. It's really nice and smooth, but it really doesn't give you the best performance in terms of grip. The D-pad is made of a cheap glossy plastic and can move around basically 360 degrees like a joystick, and it has dome switches so you can click them all you want without disturbing anyone. Moving to the back side, we have our USB-C port and the 4 trigger buttons. The L and R button are quite tactile, and the button travel actually depends on where you press on them. The outer sides will have more travel distance than the inner section. As for the left and right trigger, there is a good amount of equal tension all the way through. And here's a little sound test of all the buttons. Moving down to the grip, as I mentioned before, it fits very well in the hands. We have these grip patterns all around the areas where your palms and fingers touch, so they actually give you a bit of extra grip, which is really nice. And thankfully, it's not rubber, because that material can get obstructive in terms of movement and your hands shifting. But it's just a diamond weave pattern that's engraved onto the plastic itself, and it looks great too. So this controller works with your PC, PS3, as well as your Android devices and tablets that have OTG support. I'm not sure if it supports Xbox, but if you have an Xbox, you might want to try it out, and if it doesn't work, you can always just use it for your PC. Connection is very simple. The home button has LED buttons to show you what's up. When your controller isn't active, the receiver will continue to flash, and when you do connect, it has a constant light. Input connection is through the home button. When your controller wants to connect, it will keep cycling and cycling, and it will turn itself off if a connection isn't made. And if a connection is made, it will have a constant LED on, and this is where you choose the inputs. The controller also turns off itself after 5 minutes of inactivity, so you don't have to worry about turning it off or anything. So the LED placements are as follows: 1, 2, 3, and 4. By default, 1 and 2 will be on for X inputs. This is basically the main inputs you'll be using for your PC. Hold down the button for 5 seconds and you'll be put into D input emulation with LEDs 1 and 3. Press again and you'll get D input digit mode with LEDs 1 to 4. Press home for 5 seconds again and you'll go to Android mode with LEDs 3 and 4. And if you press home for 5 seconds again, you'll go back to the default X input mode. And yes, multiple controllers can be used on a single device, and the manual tells you what LEDs will pop up on the controllers for as many as up to 7 controllers. Next, let's talk about Android mode. Android usage with the controller is only available for devices with OTG functions, so you'll need to get the USB female port connector and stick the receiver into there to control the phone. And as you can see, I can quite easily control the camera settings with the controller alone, which is pretty crazy, and this works only for some specific games, so you'll have to test out yourself to see if your games on your phone or tablet will work with this wireless controller. But overall, it's pretty crazy that you can use a controller to control all these settings. So maybe if you're recording on your smartphone or something like that, you can use a controller to zoom in, zoom out, change these settings and whatnot, and just overall just control whatever's on the screen, which is pretty awesome. With gameplay on a computer, it's very smooth. A driver is instantly downloaded to your computer and it works extremely fast so that once you plug the USB in, you are ready to use it immediately. You also get a maximum of 10 meters of receiving distance as long as there's no interference between the receiver and the controller. If there is interference, it'll only go past around 2 meters or so, which is really all you need in reality. But gameplay is very responsive, and I've had no disconnections whatsoever, and I love the fact that it's so easy to use and you can also use the controller on multiple devices. It's awesome. Overall, it's a really great controller. Not only is it simple to use on your computer, you can also use it on multiple devices as well. You can use it wired, you can use it wirelessly. The receiver is included in the box, so it's already 10 times better than the Xbox One controller, which doesn't have the wireless receiver included. The aesthetics are also really nice, and the matte black just allows people to get a third-party controller that doesn't have any unnecessary flashy elements, which is a great thing. The buttons are responsive, and the overall package is all there for $25. If you want to check it out for yourself, go to EasySMX.com and use code Romsicle to get 15% off your purchase. Thanks for watching this video, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.